guys, it's me, Miss Mills, and welcome to Mrs. Mills' Math Time. The whole point of this video is to help you out with IXL V13. This IXL is something that you have to do at the beginning of the week. It's you have to do it on Monday, so it is a skill that we learned about last week that you're going to practice this week, and it's you using the distributive property. So we're going to use the distributive property. You have to get this IXL to an 80%. And I'm going to do bunches and bunches of examples. And if you're still struggling with this, just let me know after this video and I'll help out in any way that I can. All right, let's go ahead and do this. So using the distributive property is when you take the outside number and you're going to multiply it by everything inside of the parentheses. Because when you have a number next to parentheses, that means multiplication. In this case, you have to multiply the outside number by everything on the inside. So we are going to practice this skill. So let's go ahead and do this example. Our first question is 2 and then 1 plus p. All right, so I'm glad that they started off with this one because there's a few things I want to make sure that y'all know. When you have a variable by itself or a letter by itself, you need to automatically assume that there is a 1 in front of that letter. You have to assume that because 0p, that doesn't exist. So a 1 has to be there in order for that p to even exist in the first place, or that letter to exist in the first place. So if there is a letter by itself, you do need to automatically assume that there is a 1 in front of it. So let's go ahead and do this. So again, you're going to take the outside number, you're going to multiply it by everything on the inside. So this is what you do. First, we're going to say 2 is multiplied by 1. Well, 2 times 1 is going to give us 2. And then we have to do the same thing where we take the outside number and multiply it by the other number inside of the parentheses. Well, again, 2 times 1p is going to give us 2p. So, 2 times 1 is 2, and then we do have to bring that variable down as well. Here's the thing about this. We cannot simplify this any more than this because these are not like terms. They do not have the same base, and they don't have the same exponent, nothing like that. These are different terms. Therefore, this is as simplified as it's going to get. This is our final answer, 2 plus 2p. So I can go ahead and put that in, 2 plus 2p. And that's basically all this is going to be, is you're going to be multiplying the outside number by all the numbers inside. Now, don't let something freak you out like this. This might look like it's different, but it's the exact same thing. You're going to take your outside number and you're going to multiply it by everything on the inside of the parentheses. So 3 is getting multiplied by 3 and 9g. It's just they flipped it and they added parentheses, but it's the same thing. Don't freak out. So first we're going to do 3 times 3. Well, 3 times 3 is going to give us 9. And then 3 times 9g is going to give us positive 27. And again, 3 is getting multiplied by 9g, so we do have to bring that variable down. Again, these are not like terms. Therefore, this is as simplified as it can possibly get, making this our final answer, 9 plus 27g. So I'm going to go back to my IXL, and I'm going to type that in. 27g. Killer. All right. Okay, so again, we have 4, and we're getting multiplying that by 1 plus 4y. Okay, same thing. First, I'm going to multiply 4 times 1, because again, this is a multiplication. Remember, it's multiplication. So 4 is getting multiplied by 1. Well, 4 times 1 is 4. And then 4 times 4y is going to give us plus 16. And then again, we have to bring that variable down. This is as simplified as it can get. 16 and 4, they're not like terms, so they cannot be combined. Therefore, this is our final answer. And I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. 4 plus 16y. All right, 7 multiplied by 1 and 7 are. Good. All right, so same thing. We're going to take this outside number and multiply it by everything on the inside. So 7 times 1 is 7. And then 7 times 7 is going to give us 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49. And again, when we multiply by that number and that variable, we do have to bring this variable down. These are not like terms. It's as simplified as it can get. Therefore, this is going to be our final answer. 7 plus 49 are. All right, I'm going to see if they change it up on you any. Make sure that we practice all these skills. Okay, so this is going, okay, good. I'm glad that they did this. All right, so now we have 4 And this time we have some negative and positive numbers. Guys, before we get into this, I want y'all to know that when you multiply a negative times a positive, you're going to get a negative answer. When you multiply a positive times a positive, well, you're going to get, of course, a positive answer. But be very careful. When you multiply a negative multiplied by a negative, you're also going to get a positive answer. So if you multiply a positive times negative or a negative times positive, you're always going to get that negative answer. Positive times a positive will give you a positive answer, and then a negative times a negative is going to give you a positive answer as well. So you need to know that in order to get all the rest of these answers correct. You need to know those rules. So for example, 4 times negative 6, okay, so this is a positive number multiplied by a negative number, so our answer is going to be negative. So 4 times 6, or 4 times negative 6, is 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Again, this is going to give us a negative answer, so it's going to be negative 24. And then positive 4 times positive 2 is going to give us 8. And then again, we're multiplying that by 2q, so we do need to bring that q down. And this is our final answer because these are not like terms. So I can go ahead and plug this in. Negative 24 plus 8q. Okay, so same thing. They've changed it up on you a little bit, but it's the same concept. All right, so first we're going to multiply 3 times 4. Well, 3 times 4 is going to give us 12. Now this is again a positive 3, so a positive 3 times a negative 3x is going to give us a negative answer because a positive times a negative is a negative. But 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. And again, we're multiplying it by negative 3x, so we do need to bring that variable down. These are not like terms, so this is as simplified as it's going to get. My bad. So this is going to be our final answer. 12 minus 9x. Okay. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad they did this one too. So we have negative 5, and we're going to add that by x, and then we're going to multiply that by negative 5. So same thing. Guys, be very careful. We're going to do negative 5 times x. Again, we need to automatically assume that there's a 1 in front of that x because the x has to be there for some reason. And remember, 0x doesn't exist, so we do have to have that 1 there for that x to piggyback off of it. But negative 5 times positive 1 is going to give us negative 5. Again, we are multiplying that by 1x, so that x does need to come down with it. And then negative 5 times negative 5, two negatives again, guys, equals a positive. So negative 5 times negative 5 is going to leave us with a positive 25. So remember, these are not like terms. They cannot be simplified any more than this. So that's our final answer. All right, let me see if they add any more skills in here without me knowing. Nope, that looks about roughly the same, and you have to get this to an 80%. So let me do 2 more examples, and then if you have any questions, just let me know, and I'll be happy to help out in any way that I can. So we have 2. We're going to multiply that by 7 minus 4v. Okie dokie. So first we have 2 times 7. Well, 2 times 7 is going to give us 14. And then we have 2 multiplied by negative 4v. The reason I'm calling this a negative 4v is you have to take that operator in front of the number. In this case, the operator in front of the 4 is a minus sign. So that's the same as saying 2 times negative 4. Okay. So again, a negative times positive, because this is a positive 2, is going to give us a negative number. And then 2 times negative 4 is going to give us a negative 8. And then this is negative 4v. So 2 times negative 4v is going to leave us with negative 8v. We do have to bring that variable down. These are not like terms, so this is as simplified as it's going to get. So that's our final answer. 14 minus 8v. I'm going to do one more, just because I love y'all. And I hope you're still here. But you probably aren't. Unless you're built different, then you're still here watching your math teacher do this thing. I'm going to rewrite that because that looked awful. Looked like a kindergartner wrote it. Alrighty. So this is the very last one I'm going to do. Again, you're going to take the outside number, multiply it by everything inside of the parentheses. So we have a negative 6 times a negative 6. So remember, a negative times a negative is going to give us a positive number. And negative 6 times negative 6 is going to give us a positive 36. And then negative 6 times a positive 2, because the operation in front of that is positive 2, that's going to give us a negative number. And then negative 6 times positive 2 is going to leave us with a negative 12. And again, we have that p there, so we're going to bring it down. This is as simplified as it can possibly get. These are not like terms, so this is our final answer. 36 subtracted by 12p. All right, I got it 280. All right, guys, if y'all have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to help in any way that I can. I hope y'all have a wonderful week, and I will see y'all later.